Hey, it's Dale, and we have from our little book of affirmations. Today's affirmation is, today I am aware and alive and I accept where I am. So acceptance, today is all about acceptance. So I know sometimes that the concept of accepting things is hard. Now, if things go, cut across your values, they are immoral, illegal and unethical, then you have every right in the world not to accept them. But this is not what I'm talking about. I think that kind of acceptance right now is a little emotive. But acceptance is a little bit like I was talking previously in the day one of these was about control. So, we have to let go of things that we can't control, and we have to come into this place of acceptance. So when my spine fractured, I had a really, really hard time of accepting that this was going to be my life. Those first 4 days, well, it was more than 4 days, but the first 4 days, I laid in bed, took all the drugs the doctor gave me against my better judgment. I did it for 4 days and I stared at the ceiling and I was like, this is not going to be my life. I do not accept that the only way through this is taking strong painkillers, and I can't remember what the other thing was, something like diazepam. I don't know what that does, but none of it helped me sleep. What I decided instead was that no matter what had happened to my body, no matter what my body looked like, no matter how I felt, that I was not going to accept that this was the way forward. I refused to accept prescription drugs. What I did accept was that my body knows how to heal itself. And so I worked on the premise that the body knows what to do and knows how to heal. Now, I went through physical and psychological hell. I was in fear and anger. And then slowly, through journaling, through visualization, through energy work, good nutrition, I came to accept the fact, yes, I have fractures. And what I have now is I have some wedge vertebrae. Can't do anything about that. That's how they are. So I accept that. But what I realized was that the way to heal was to stop the fight, lay down my sword and look at things from another perspective. So life is very, very unpredictable and stuff happens that doesn't make any sense. That didn't make any sense. But Steve Jobs says we can only connect the dots backwards. So when we look back at our experiences, there's going to be some things that are easier to accept than others. Always the way, isn't it? So we can't change the past, but we can change how we feel about those experiences. So when we start to accept things, no matter how difficult they are, what we do is we make room. We make choices and we make room for how we consciously are going to deal with them. So do we put up the fight? Or do we understand that in all of our experiences, yes, there's challenges and lessons, but there are gifts. There are things to celebrate. Now, I can't say that I'm celebrating having had a fractured spine, but I am much more aware about natural healing. So I studied healing before, but this really, really brought it into context. So there was a gift. Acceptance is a choice. So you can wander around and feel anger and some other unexpressed emotions or unhelpful emotions. And what that's going to do is do stuff to your body. So if we learn to accept things, then we can find that place of inner peace or become more peaceful. And for me, acceptance is choice. So when I make that choice, it changes how I feel and how I view my life. That's not to say that I don't get angry, and that's not to say that I don't scream and cry and gouge up my journal and all those things. I do that. But But I mean, that's the wonderful thing about journaling, is you can get all of that stuff out, and it's in that reflecting and making a choice that, you know, we can do something about what's going on. Acceptance is massively powerful. So, you know, if we push against a closed door, so here's the door, and we're going to push and push, and all it's going to do is nothing. All that's going to do is put pressure on our arms and our shoulders, and it's all a little bit silly. But if we learn this, that the power of acceptance, and we open the door, don't push against it, we open that door and go through it, then, you know, letting go of that resistance, we're going to get, you know, a greater reward. So it's, rather than fight, use the power of acceptance in a much more graceful way. Acceptance is about living in the present moment. You know, we can keep peeling and peeling and peeling that onion and wishing things hadn't happened. But we know that we can't turn back time. So the past is a place of reference. It's a place to go and have a little nose. It's like a big encyclopedia. But in terms of acceptance, it's being in the now. It's accepting that you can't do anything about the past. And the other thing is, you cannot control the future. You can't force it. We can do affirmations. We can send things off to the universe. We can put plans in place, but sometimes stuff happens. So, you know, we can take all the action we like, but sometimes, you know, stuff does get in the way. So I think for me, acceptance is about, if we learn acceptance, we'll feel happier. We'll have a lot more contentment. We'll feel a lot more peaceful. And I'm certainly happier when I can shrug my shoulders. Yes, have a bit of a swear, but then think about, you know, how I turn those experiences into learning points. And here's the other thing, coming right back to what I said at the very beginning about fractured spine, body changing shape. You know, I can either accept pharmaceutical drugs, or I can take the path of natural healing. But it helps you to stop judging yourself based on the choices that you make. So, you know, if we do something, then sometimes we judge ourselves because we think we've done the wrong thing. And really we have to come back, you know, it's really about going into that silence and coming into the wisdom of the heart and choosing the right thing. So I can't change the fractures. I can change what I eat. I can change my energy. I can change my perspective. And I can tell my body that I love her just as she is. And I can thank her for helping me with healing. So let's go back to one of the first things I said as well. So acceptance is massively powerful, but there are some things that you should not accept. And when those kind of things come up, I think that, you know, this is how, when we come into, you know, kind of our solar plexus and our place of personal power, we come into our heart, and it's about how we express those things, but accept that other people may judge us, they may not accept what we say, and we may get into a situation that is a little uncomfortable. I think then sometimes we just have to step back and accept where we are, and accept the things that we can do to make a difference. So I'm going to leave you with this little book of affirmations, and today's affirmation is, today I'm aware and alive, and I accept where I am. So acceptance is massively powerful. So today, just come into that place of acceptance, think about how you feel and how you view things, change your perspective, take some action, and you will get there. So you can find me and my book at daledarley.com. And I hope you have a splendiferous day. So lots of love and take care.